Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. I'm Anton, and I'm here to bring you 5 things we learned about the Liverpool 3, West Ham 1 loss that we saw yesterday afternoon. Now, what was a mixture of emotions for me personally, because I felt like the first half West Ham actually did all right. I thought we actually took the game to Liverpool and brought ourselves back into the game with a really well worked squad footballing goal. You know, with that ball coming through from Paqueta with the great header on from Jared Bowen, where Antonio plays the ball out wide to Sefao. Sefao with a absolutely beautiful cross into the box for Bowen to crouch down so low and head that ball into the back of the net, and to get ourselves back in the mix again really gave us a lot of hope at Anfield. But as per usual, it went wrong. Now, it's not per usual because I don't think it's like that a lot this season, but it seems to be against a lot of the bigger teams, the top 6 teams. So, without further ado, I'm here to talk about the 5 things that I think we learned from the game and the loss against Liverpool. And this kind of particular point is probably the correct time to talk about this one, which is a slow second half. We seem to just come out of the traps in the second half nowhere near the levels that we need to be. It seems to be that the concentration levels drop quite dramatically. And if we could continue the first half and the game was to continue going on, the momentum is with West Ham. But it seems to be that when that final whistle or the halftime whistle comes in, that we struggle to bring what we finished that half off with that level of enthusiasm going forward, because it did feel like, Liverpool were battering our backline. We had a few chances, but they were battering our backline, and at one point they were being a bit relentless in coming forward, and we couldn't really deal with that threat. And I suppose it was always going to be inevitable that they were going to bang in a goal or two. And when you've got the quality that they've got, especially in front of goal, that's what's going to happen. So that's what's disappointing, because I feel like if you have that energy and that drive that you had in the first half in particular, then there's a real opportunity you can walk away with something, especially at Liverpool, at Anfield as well. So, yeah, just a slow second half. We need to try and maintain those levels of commitment, especially against the top level teams, because that's where we're going to get found out if we start off slow in the second half, of course. What do you think from what I've said there? The second point I'm going to talk to you about is it time for change? Because if you look at some of the goals today, you could really pinpoint it on not just one player in particular, a few of the players, but there is one player that's on the tip of everyone's tongues about potentially being rested or dropped in the West Ham shirt, and that is this player here, Naif Aguerd, who I rate really highly, and I still do. But even when I rate him really highly, I can't take away from the fact that currently he is got quite a few errors that are leading to goals. And is it time to change it up a little bit in the back line? Because what was once our strength has now, for some weird reason, become a little bit of a weakness over the last couple of weeks. And next week at Sheffield United, that's going to be a huge test, because they've been smashed 8-0 from Newcastle yesterday, and they're going to want to come back and fight for something, and that's such a dangerous position to be in. And there will be attacking West Ham's weaknesses, and right now, I do think that teams will look at Aguerd and think, okay, he's maybe being a little bit clumsy, but equally though, I do think there is an absolutely world class central defender. I'm not giving hope on him whatsoever. But I do think that he's taken a bit longer to adjust. I think we've saw real qualities and snippets of world-class footballer in Aguerd, but we do have someone like Konstantinos Mavropanos, who seems to be kind of buzzing with life right now, banging a couple of goals for his country, playing well in Europa League for West Ham. And maybe it's time to give him a run out, or maybe it's time to switch it up a little bit in the back of the line and give these players all a mixture of opportunities and see what they're capable of doing. But an interesting stat that I got from Naif Aguerd is that he's only had a 20% success rate in his tackles that he's made in the Premier League so far this season out of the 5 games. So I do think that there's a quality player here, but I think what I'm worried about is, I suppose, the element of stopping the rot. Errors leading to goals against Man City, error leading to goals today against Liverpool as well, and something's going to have to give. Will Moyes change it? I don't necessarily see it, but I think Lincoln coming up is an opportunity for Moyes to potentially try something new. Whatever that is, who knows? But we'll have to wait and see. Number 3 point I'm going to talk to you about today is this guy here. Michail Antonio, he's just hit and miss at the moment. It's really odd. I can't fathom what exactly is going on with the Antonio saga, because when people doubt him the most, that's when he steps up to the plate. And he was very cocksure of this game today in particular, but he didn't come out with the greatest of stats at all. The guy only completed 5 passes in the whole game. Of course, one of those passes were integral into West Ham going on and scoring a goal. He had 24 touches in total. He only won under 50%. He actually won 40% of his ground duels, and he didn't win any of his aerial duels yesterday, as well. And he lost possession 11 times from those 24 touches. So a really weird situation we've got with Antonio. It's a bit like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You can't play without him and you can't play with him sometimes. And then sometimes this world-class star turns up. And I think in the first half in particular, I thought he was actually doing okay. But it seemed to be as the game go on, he was struggling to cause them any problems and really be involved at all. So Antonio, another one, hits and miss. Am I giving up hope on him? No, because why? Because he's been vital for us this season. We had a flunker when he had that shot in the first half that really should have put it into the back of the net with that header. It's just typical Antonio, isn't it? Does all the hard work to then unfortunately not reap the benefits. But yeah, I mean, hit and miss at the moment. Maybe he's going to get his reprieve come Sheffield United, and fingers crossed he can get himself on the score sheet and boost his morale, boost his confidence a little bit. So who knows? Leave your comments in the comment section. Anyway, number 4 for me is Kudus. I mean, I think the guy's a baller. He comes off the back of a brace in Europa League, and then he doesn't start in a game like Liverpool today. And getting 15 minutes off the bench for a player we signed for £40+ million is not really what I anticipated, and I'm a bit bored of why he's not playing. The boy is on fire in terms of his Europa League campaign and his country, scoring goals left, right, and centre. So why is he not coming in from the off? And I'm a bit tired of not seeing him coming from the off. And to be honest with you, that's what needs to happen come Sheffield United, and he needs to be playing that run of games moving forward. Because remember, and let's not forget, come January, he's gone to the AFCON. And I don't understand then the purpose of bringing him in, really, to be honest, because if you're not going to get that run of games, then what's the point? Especially if we're going to be off for upwards of 5 games you're going to miss. So for me, he needs consistency in games and to be starting from the off, because I think he would have given a real drive, and we saw what he was capable of doing in the Europa League. We saw what he's capable of doing with Ajax, and I think, last time out when he played Liverpool, he scored a goal against Liverpool as well for his previous club, Ajax. So for me, Kudus needs to start the next game, and we need to start with that kind of drive to push forward and achieve something and go and get a goal as well. But my last point for you is about this man, Lucas Paqueta. The guy was on fire today. Honestly, he is so world class. That moment where he kind of won the ball back in the corner flag of West Ham and are deep in our own area. He played the ball, quick 1-2 with Emerson. He drove forward and he held off 3 or 4 Liverpool players chipping the ball over them. He was everywhere today. He was everywhere. The guy is an absolute baller, and I really hope we keep building our success around what he is capable of doing for our club, because he is a world beater. He is a world class player, and we've got him in our midst. He played 87 minutes today with 71 touches, 82% pass completion rate. He had 1 key pass. And people will always say about sometimes he does give the ball away, but again, just to be mindful of the fact that when he does move forward, he is our creative player. So sometimes then you will find that he will give the ball away from trying some new things there, but he's an animal in the middle of the park. He won 12 from 15 ground duels. That's ridiculous. He had a 100% dribble success rate today. That's 6 out of 6. and he was fouled a lot in the game, being really effective in what he was doing. You could see he was trying to get the ball forward. He's a world class player, and you can see the threat he offers. He got a nice little relationship with Emerson down the left hand side. Even when Ben Rama plays, and he didn't play today, Kudus, put Paqueta in the world of Kudus and Bowen, and it's frightening. It really is frightening. So, you know what? Chin up, head up. We've got to focus. We've got to refocus, and we've got to move on from Man City and Liverpool, and hope we can bounce back with a good victory in the League Cup, and then again bounce back with hopefully a fantastic victory over Sheffield United. That would do West Ham the world of good. Let's not forget that we're only 7th in the league. We're 10 points on the board. Most people after 5 or 6 games this season would never anticipated West Ham would be where we are so far. So far, so good. I'm happy. I'll take that. I would rather more points on the board. Of course you would when you get a head start like you have. But I think things are going to get a little bit brighter for us moving forward. Join Russ later on, 12:30, for, of course, the ratings. And we'll see you over the next coming days. And thank you for watching. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. And, of course, if you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the membership option. Come on, you beautiful irons.